Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to another edition of the Talkin and Grubbin live nightly daily show. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Sorry for the late start, but tonight got a lot of things I want to talk about. First, gonna recap the MLB All-Star game. The game-winning home run came from an unlikely hero. Hall of Famer Dennis Rodman gives his take on why the Bulls dynasty ended. And Britney Spears is still looking for that apology from Victor Wembanyama. That and a whole lot more here tonight on Talkin and Grubbin live daily show. So let's tip it off with this intro. Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to another edition of Talkin and Grubbin live nightly digital show. How's everybody doing on this Wednesday? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Last night, couldn't do the show because I had a couple of personal things to handle, but I'm back. Hope everybody's been doing good. Hope everybody's hump day has been good as we're getting closer to the weekend. I know a lot of y'all can't wait to get there. I'm almost at that point myself. I'm grubbing on this burrito tonight. Let me grub on this before I get into the topics. This is good too. Oh man, that was definitely good. All right, let's get into it. First, let's start with the recap of last night's MLB All-Star game between the American League and National League as they balloted out in Seattle. Now, the game was 2-1 American League for most of the night, but an unlikely hero from the National League rose up to the plate. And this is fair use. But an unlikely hero from the National League rose up to the plate in the ninth inning. That was Elias Diaz, the 32-year-old first. Well, hitting his first home run in his first. No, excuse me, Elias Diaz. I messed up his name. My apologies. Hit the go-ahead home run in the top of the 8th inning to give the National League their first lead of the game and ultimately gave them the win as they won 3-2. And the National League broke their losing streak against the American League. The American League had won 9 straight All-Star games. And for that, Diaz was also named All-Star Game MVP, rightfully so. He definitely did his thing. Like I said, he's 32 years old, and he was making his first MLB All-Star Game appearance. So definitely shout out to him. Now the American League, they had their chance. They had the winning run at the plate, and it looked like the ball was going to carry out of there, but it died right at the right field wall, and the National League held on for the win. That was a good All-Star game. That's one of the best I've seen in a while. Definitely didn't disappoint. Now, normally I don't really watch the MLB All-Star game that much, but that was a pretty nice game. And also the home run derby Tuesday night was pretty good. Of course, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays ended up winning the trophy. He's the first Blue Jay to win the honor. Got to definitely give credit for Seattle. Looks like they definitely put on a good showing. Definitely did a great job of hosting the event. So shout out to them. All right. Get to a little more of this burrito before I get to this next story. Man, this is good. All right, my fault, good people. Little technical issue. All right, the next story. Dennis Rodman recently appeared on Vlad TV for an interview with DJ Vlad, and he gave his thoughts and opinions on why the Chicago Bulls dynasty was broken up after their 1998 NBA title, where that was their sixth title in 8 years. Now, Dennis Rodman strongly felt that the Bulls could have went for a four-peat in the 98-99 season since the NBA season was shortened to 50 games due to the lockout over a new collective bargaining agreement. Now, we all know there's no secret, especially now with the Last Dance documentary being released 3 years ago, that there were a lot of internal issues with the Chicago Bulls during that time. Scottie Pippen was demanded to be traded because he wanted a new deal. Also, Jerry Krause blatantly told Phil Jackson that I don't care if you go 82-0, you're gone after this season. Also, Jerry Reinsdorf being aloof and not stepping in and taking charge like an owner should of his own franchise. But Dennis Rodman feels that Michael Jordan basically hindered the Bulls from winning another championship due to the fact that since Jerry Krause was going to let Phil Jackson go, Michael Jordan was not going to play for the Bulls and not play for any other coach except for Phil Jackson, because they became very close during their whole time in Chicago. Also, a lot of people don't know this, that Michael Jordan tore a major ligament, in his hand when he nearly severed his finger with a cigar cutter. Okay. All right, my apologies, good people. Have a little technical issue. Now, what I was saying was that also during that year, Michael Jordan severed severely, severed a ligament in his finger where he badly cut his finger on a cigar cutter and he had to have surgery. But basically, Dennis Rodman feels like the Bulls dynasty was ended from within with all the drama and turmoil that the team was going through during that season, which had definitely started during their fifth championship in 1997. And Dennis Rodman definitely had a point about why the Bulls dynasty ended and the factors why it ended. You know, it was a lot of infighting with Phil and Jerry Krause, Jerry Reinsdorf being out the way. He definitely has a lot of blame for that because he could have stepped in and said something and tried to see if Jerry Krause and Phil Jackson could patch things up, but he didn't do that. Also, you know, a lot of those guys, 9 times out of 10, would have been let go after that 97-98 season because, one, they were older, and also you would definitely had to overpay those guys and go over the cap in order to keep that team together. I mean, back then, who's going to spend, say, $120 million on a team that's basically all in their 30s and try to win the NBA championship? That's impossible, and that's very unrealistic. Also, excuse me, I've gone on record and said this. I don't think the Bulls win the title in 99. One, they were older. Two, with Jordan having that injury, who would have came in and took over while Jordan was out for that long period of time? Because if, Jordan would have played instead of retired, he would have missed a few months. So who would have came in and filled in that role? Who would have signed a contract knowing that they're going to take a back seat to Michael Jordan once he came back? Nobody, unless you was going to find a very good veteran who could score that was ring chasing, and those don't grow on trees. But I mean, all successful teams who have that kind of run always get ruined from within. It's never an outsider. It's always from within. Look at the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. Look what happened with that. The issues with Shaq and Kobe really, really led to that team's demise, because they could have won a few more championships. If Shaq and Kobe could have found a way to work things out and find a common ground with each other, they probably win at least maybe 2 or 3 more championships together. Also, look at the Patriots. That was room from within. The relationship between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick really fractured after, I want to say, after they won that Super Bowl against the Falcons or the Super Bowl against the Rams. But around that time, the relationship between Brady and Belichick really fractured, and it was never the same like it was before. And also, it came down to a choice. Robert Kraft had a strong loyalty to Tom Brady. Bill Belichick didn't. So that was the end of that team. Look at now with the Warriors. That whole Draymond Green situation with Jordan Poole, where he knocked him out, is now became the knockout scene around the world. That's pretty much hindered that team. And now the GM, Steve Kerr is there, but now Bob Myers, he stepped down. Jordan Poole has gotten traded. So now we don't know what's going to happen with that team. Are they going to win another championship, or are they going to go by the wayside? But yeah, all great dynasties get ruined from within. They never had an outsider ruin them. Matter of fact, look at a lot of the royal dynasties. They get ruined from within. Why? Jealousy, envy, turmoil, infighting, drama. Nobody wants to find a common ground. It's not about we, it's all about me. So that's what ruined the Bulls dynasty. That you had a lot of these players who couldn't come together for whatever reason, who had their own issues with management, as well as maybe the coach, because I think there were some issues with Phil as well. But when you have those type of issues and you're not together, you're not gonna function, and you're not gonna have success. I can't name any organization, whether it's in sports or just in business in general, that has thrived in dysfunction. And if anybody can give me one, hey, I might give you $1 million. I'm just playing. But all right, good people, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. I'll be right back. Let you hear a word from our partners at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the table. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action. BetUS, where the game begins.
All right, I'm back, good people. Now, if you're looking for a good sports book that will give you multiple opportunities to win, BetUS is the one for you. Sign up now using my link, and after you deposit your first betting money, you'll get 125% sign up bonus. Oh, excuse me. Just type in this promo code right here, join 125. You'll get money on your win. You'll get more chances to bet, better opportunities to win, and you'll get easy earnings on your winnings, excuse me. BetUS, where the game begins. All right. Despite the fact that it was proven Britney Spears slapped herself, she still wants NBA rookie Victor Wembanyama to apologize for the situation that happened in Las Vegas a week ago between Wembanyama's security team and Britney Spears. As you all know and seen by now, Britney Spears was walking up to Wembanyama, approaching him, trying to talk to him, when one of the security members of his team just basically blocked her and inadvertently caused her to slap herself. She was very upset that she could not get access to him, and also she went on a very crazy rant, and she's still very upset, and she's still demanding an apology from Wembanyama and his security team. Question is, who apologizes to someone that slapped themselves? I love to know. Have any of you ever apologized to somebody when they slapped themselves? I think not. He doesn't owe you an apology. Neither does the security team, Britney. You knew what could have happened once you went up to that man. You went at your own risk, and you ended up knocking yourself out. Well, nearly knocking yourself out. So nobody owes you an apology, Britney. You just need to take that L and move on. Plus, you were wrong for approaching that man. He didn't know you from a can of paint. He might have thought you were a craze fan, a groupie, a stalker, whatever. Because he's about 19 years old? He probably has never heard one Britney Spears song in his life over there in France. And also there's been stories about Britney Spears violating people's spaces. So look, that's her karma right there. Because I bet she wouldn't want anybody violating her personal space. Matter of fact, even now, if anybody, man or woman, violated her space, that security team would snatch them up with the quickness. So, Britney, you went there, you approached that man at your own risk, and you ended up embarrassing yourself. So, the only apology you owe is to yourself for getting yourself slapped. All right, good people, I'm going to take a quick pause. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, good people. Next story I want to talk about is matter of fact, y'all excuse me for a moment. All right, I'm back, good people. What's up, Bill? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. How you been? As you said, yeah, gotta call you Professor Bell now. Rocking the glasses. Shout out to Bill, my fellow OBF family member. You said I'm good. I'm doing good. Right, my guy Rising Rhino. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Definitely check out Rising Rhino's channel. He does the CFL over there. Also, did a good job with the MLB All-Star game last night. All right, so said just taking it easy right now. I know that's right. No problem. Now, this next story I want to get into. Soccer star Megan Rapinoe definitely has smoke for superstar comedian Dave Chappelle. Now, a lot of you may not know that Megan Rapinoe is about to retire from soccer, but in a Time magazine interview, she puts Dave on blast and blames him for all the violence issues and the attacks that the trans community is going through. Here's what she said in her interview, and I quote: I don't want to mince words about it. Dave Chappelle making jokes about trans people directly leads to violence, whether it's verbal or otherwise, against trans people. When Martina or Sage or whoever are talking about this, people aren't hearing it just in the context of elite sports. They're saying the rest of my life, this is how I'm going to treat trans people. Sorry about that. Now look, I'm not mad for Megan Rapinoe for advocating for people in her community. It's also, y'all may not know, Megan Rapinoe, she's married to former WNBA star Sue Bird. I understand. Well, look, like I said, I don't mind her advocating for people in her community, but her anger is misplaced. Her anger should not be on Dave Chappelle. She should be calling out a lot of these politicians, mainly conservative, some are liberal, that are putting out these bills, putting out all these laws in states across the country that's discriminating against the LGBTQ community. Not Dave Chappelle. Last time I checked, Dave Chappelle doesn't hold an elective office anywhere in this country, no matter if it's local or federal. What she needs to be doing, she needs to be calling out those people. Those are the ones who are influencing all the issues and violence against your community. Not Dave Chappelle making jokes. And the jokes he's made in his past Netflix stand-up specials was really calling out the hypocrisy of certain people in the LGBTQ community. He wasn't sitting up, wishing harm or violence on anybody that's in that community. Matter of fact, he had a best friend that was transgender who ultimately ended up taking their own life due to the fact of all the bullying and scrutiny from people within your own community. So, Megan, you also need to call that out as well when people in your community bully other LGBTQ people. Dave's not responsible for all the violence and the attacks and venom against, anybody in the LGBTQ community. It's your politicians. That's who you should be focused on. You need to really rally all your people, go to those state houses, go to Congress, call out your congressman, your senator, your governors, your state houses for putting all these bills out there that discriminates against your group. Not blaming a comedian, because a lot of these comedians don't hold an elective office. They can't sign anything in the law. They can't propose bills. Like I said, Megan Rapinoe, okay, I don't dismiss the fact that certain members of the LGBTQ community do get victimized, but your anger is misplaced and your beef is with the wrong person. Your beef should be with your politicians, not Dave Chappelle. Man, you missed it, Rising. I was grubbing on burrito earlier. What's up, Bruce? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining me. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for joining me. But yeah, now Megan Rapinoe, I do give her props for standing with Colin Kaepernick by taking a knee and also calling out the people that were criticizing him for having his national anthem protest. But Megan, you're wrong on this one, and your anger is misplaced. The people you really need to get at is the ones that can propose bills and turn those bills into laws. Those are the ones that are really attacking your community, not a Dave Chappelle. Bruce, you say I love some burritos. Yep, that's who you should really be attacking, not him. It's mostly your conservative politicians and also media that influence that type of mindset and also influence these kind of laws. Like I said, you got some legit gripe, may have some legit gripes, but you're directing them at the wrong person. Bridget said, I feel you 100 as the government got to do something. Yep, your anger is definitely misplaced, Megan. Very misplaced. Said, but now the Republican gonna mess everything up. It ain't just them, it's some Democrats too, Bruce. It's some Democrats as well that's doing some stuff. But I'm just saying, like, Megan, how you have all this energy for Dave Chappelle, but you don't have that same energy for the members in Congress or the members of your state politics, whichever state you live in. Because there's some politicians in whichever state you live in, they're definitely coming after you too, and your community and people in your community. They are definitely trying to come after y'all very hard. Bruce, you said, I feel the Democrats not the racist compared to Republicans. To a certain extent, they're about the same, just different levels, Bruce. Yeah, but reading that story definitely just blew my mind. Like, how you gonna blame one person for the issues of your community, but you don't blame the other side? Said, do you still? Yeah, I caught a little bit of it last night, Bruce. Yeah, Elias Diaz came through with the solo home run. That's amazing that he did that in his first All-Star game, and he's 32 years old, finally making an All-Star team. I mean, that's definitely something he's going to tell his kids about and his grandkids about. Yeah, the National League won for the first time in 9 years. Yep, that was their first win in the All-Star game in 9 years. So now that losing streak comes to an end. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you can donate via Cash App or PayPal. Here's the Cash App cash tag $ Talkin and Grubbin. Also, here's the PayPal email address, talkinandgrubbin@gmail.com. Any donation you give to the channel, I greatly appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate everyone who has supported the channel past and present. I just thank you so much. Thank you very much. Oh, make sure I was on the right track. Bruce, you said QC. I feel the AL is number one, the NL is number two, as the AL got more stars. Definitely. Well, for some reason, this year it might be a National League team that wins the World Series. I mean, the Braves, they're doing their thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay, ends up winning the World Series, because they got a great lineup, great pitching, timely hitting, and a very good bullpen. But yep, for some reason, I feel it might be an NL team year this year. Just like last year, I felt it was going to be an AL team to win the World Series, which it ended up being the Astros. This year, I think an NL team is going to win it. Now, I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, but that's just what I'm feeling right now. Bruce, you said, I feel Ohtani gonna get the number one contract for all the time as he can and be the number one pitcher and the number one hitter and only take one place on the team. But the messed up part about Ohtani is he's this mega star. He's never played in a playoff game. Said, do you feel the Braves gonna win the World Series this year? Right now, to me, they're the favorites. They are the odds-on favorite to win the World Series. Now, hey, anything can happen between now and October. Sometimes some of the teams who get hot late in the season end up winning the World Series. Look at the Nationals a few years ago. They had a losing record right at the All-Star break, but then they turned it around in the second half. They ended up getting into the wild card. And bam, they ended up winning. They went on a run that ended up in a World Series title. Same with the Cardinals in what, 2011? They didn't clinch a wild card until the last day of the regular season, and they ended up winning the World Series. So you just never know. But right now, the Braves are the odds-on favorite to win it all this year. Bruce, you said, QC, I feel you 100 on the Braves. You also said, I feel Acuna, the number one hitter and base stealer in the NL. He is. He is. But yep, I would not be shocked if the Braves ended up winning the World Series this year. Like I said, right now, they're the heavy favorites. They are the heavy favorites to win it all. But like I said, anything can happen. I'm not saying it's guaranteed that they're going to win, but I'm just saying they're a heavy favorite. Very heavy favorite. All right, good people. I'm going to take another commercial break. I'll be right back with more show and tell you what's on my mind.
Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. Sign up at BetUS.com today to get into the action.
All right, I'm back, good people. Bruce, you said, I wish I could be good at baseball when I was young, but I could only hoop and play football. Yeah, definitely. If I were to play baseball, the only position I would not play is catcher. That's too much wear and tear on your body. I mean, you got to stand, stoop down for 9 innings. That's too much wear and tear on your body, especially your legs and your knees. I'll play any other position except for catcher. You could not pay me enough to play catcher in baseball. They stand too still. I give shout out to any catcher for having the wherewithal to stand that long in that position. Bruce, you also said, QC, I feel Ohtani going to play for the Dodgers or Yankees soon, for they got the most money for any of the MLB teams. But I mean, he plays in LA also, Bruce. You forgetting that. They have a lot of money too. I mean, Dodgers and the Yankees ain't the only ones out there with money. The LA Angels, they've got a lot of paper too now. I mean, come on. They gave Albert Pujols what, a 10-year contract for what, 300 something million? So the LA Angels got some pretty deep pockets too. Now, the only reason why he would leave for those teams is for a chance to play in the playoffs and compete for championships. It ain't going to be because of money. It's going to be due to the fact that the Angels aren't in a position to win a title. Yep, you can't sleep on the Angels. I mean, you forget they play in LA too alongside the Dodgers. So they definitely got some deep pockets. All right. I want to wrap this up with what's on my mind. Now, earlier I was talking about Dennis Rodman giving his take on the ending of the Chicago Bulls dynasty in the 90s. Well, in sports, just like in anything else, all good things must come to an end. Nothing ever stays the same. Nothing lasts forever. It all has to come down at the end of the day. Nothing ever stays the same. It always has to be torn down and rebuilt once again, no matter what. A lot of our greatest sports teams had to go through that fate. Look at the Bad Boys Pistons of the 90s. Yeah, they weren't a dynasty, but still, they did a lot of wins. They went to 4 NBA finals, won 2 championships. But their fall was pretty ugly. Same with the San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana. That whole 49ers dynasty, that fall was ugly. I mean, look, they traded Joe Montana just to see what they could do with Steve Young. They ended up only getting 1 Super Bowl title out of it. But after that, they had to tear that team down as those players got older, moved on to different situations. Jerry Rice, he played in another Super Bowl. Excuse me. You know, old Charles, he went on to the Cowboys and won 2 more Super Bowls. Also, the the Showtime Lakers of the 90s, that team had to fall. You know, Kareem, he retired. Magic and Worthy, they got older. Unfortunately, we all found out Magic ended up contracting HIV. So that really, led to the fall of the Showtime Lakers. As I mentioned earlier, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, a lot of the infighting between Shaq and Kobe led to that breakup. The Patriots, another team I mentioned earlier. A lot of the turmoil between Tom Brady and Bill Belichick ended that breakup, and that basically has dismantled that team, and they haven't been the same since. Yeah, they made the playoffs a few years ago. Mac Jones may turn out to be something, but I don't think he's ever going to be the level of Tom Brady. Now with the Warriors, they're in question now. As we all saw the knockout scene around the world where Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole last year, and that really hindered that team through the whole season, where a lot of the team didn't really trust Draymond anymore. And I think that relationship is never going to be the same. Even though they did re-sign him, I don't think that relationship is ever going to be the same. Also, the GM Bob Myers, who was the architect of the Warriors' 4 NBA titles, has stepped down. So we don't know what the future holds for the Warriors. Even the San Antonio Spurs dynasty. Yes, I'm going to call them a dynasty. If you win 5 championships in almost a 20-year period, you're a doggone dynasty. Don't try to move the damn goalpost by saying, oh, well, they didn't repeat. They won 5. You know how hard it is to win 5 in any sport? That's a dynasty. I mean, look, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, all of them got old. And then ultimately, LaMarcus Aldridge started to break down, and Kawhi Leonard, they ended up trading him off. That team had to be broken down. And also with the retirement of David Robinson, I might add. Also, another team, another dynasty, they ended up being broken down. This is hockey, the Edmonton Oilers. They were a dynasty. They won multiple championships throughout the 80s and early 90s. They won about, 4 with Gretzky, and they won 1 without him. That team had to be broken down. So what I'm saying is, all good things in sports must come to an end, no matter how great it may be, no matter how good it may be for the team or that city. All things come to an end, no matter what. Now, yes, fan bases and fans all over the world, we get spoiled with the great play of these players. You know, seeing all this dominance and winning, excuse me, and all the highlight reels and entertainment that they give us, but we take it for granted because we think this is going to be around forever. This team is going to keep on doing it year after year, year after year. But we forget that players get old. Also, players may leave in free agency. Players get traded. And it's just time to just tear the whole thing down and rebuild. So we all wish that these teams can have a happy ending and win one more championship and walk off into the sunset. But 9 times out of 10, that's not reality. If the rise was sweet, then the fall has to be bitter. All right, good people, I'm about to get out of here. Thank y'all for joining me here tonight, whether you tuned in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate all y'all taking time out your night just to hang out with me for a while. I'm going to be back again tomorrow at 8 o'clock with another live nightly digital show. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Click that subscribe box, ding the notification bell, and click all so you don't miss any new videos or upcoming shows from me. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitch. Can't wait to do this again with y'all tomorrow. So until then, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. Salute. Y'all be safe. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy your day. I'm out. See y'all tomorrow.